Okay. Good morning, everyone. Let's begin with our introductions. Okay. Let me give a brief introduction of myself. My name is Smita. Okay. I have been working as an SAP ABAP consultant for the past 6 years, and I have been into online training for the last 4 years. Okay. Now I would request each one of you to introduce yourself. Please tell me whether you are from a programming or a non-programming background. Okay. So, okay. Thank you for the introduction. So, now before I give you an overview of ABAP, let's get to know what ERP is. Okay. Let's understand what ERP is. ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. Now, what do you mean by Enterprise Resource Planning? Actually, you find the definition of ERP in its full form itself. That is planning, planning the resources of an enterprise, to maximize profits and minimize losses. Now, what do you mean by that? Let's dig deep into what ERP is. Okay. Now, let's individually take what each stands for. Now, enterprise. What do you mean by enterprise? Enterprise can be a company, an organization, or a factory. What do you mean by resources? What are the different resources in the company? The famous M's, the 4 M's, what are they called as? Okay, man, money, material, machine. If any one of the things M's are missing, okay, it is very difficult for the organization to reap in profit. So now what comes under planning? Under planning, you will have the various departments of a enterprise. Now, what are the various departments? You can have a HR department, you have a finance department, sales department, material department. You have many departments in a company. It keeps changing based on different companies and their needs. Now, what do you mean by ERP in this context? I am telling planning. What comes under planning? Each department plan their resources, all the M's. Each department plan their resources of that particular company to maximize profits and minimize losses. Okay. Now, to understand ERP, let's first understand what a non-ERP scenario is. Okay. Once you go through what a non-ERP scenario is, you'll understand why ERP was brought into picture first of all. Okay? Why ERP was introduced. Now let's take a scenario of a non-ERP system. In non-ERP system, what happened? Each department acted individually. There was no integration, there was no communication between each department. Each department had its own database. They were not interlinked with each other. As you can see in the figure, each department sales had its own database, warehouse had its own database, finance department had its own database. Likewise, all the departments in a company had its own database. They were not linked with each other. Now, sales department could not know what was happening in a HR, or HR could not know what is happening in warehouse. They would know it, not immediately, it would take time. Okay? If HR is sending some request, it would have taken days. Okay? Since they have to forward their request to some other department, now when the other department is free, they respond to what a department is asking for. Suppose, let's take a scenario to understand it better. Let's take a customer. Okay? He's coming to suppose your company is a company which is producing TV sets. Okay? You sell television sets. Okay? Now, your company, I think you understood the scenario, your company is selling television sets. There is a customer who is coming to the sales department and placing an order for 10 TV sets. Now, the sales department guy, he tells him, okay, sir, your order will be ready within 5 working days. Okay. Now, what happens? The sales department did not consult with the warehouse department. Sales department doesn't know whether the company is having 10 TV sets with it. So what happens? It slowly, the order starts its paper-based journey from one department to the another. Now what happened? When it came to the warehouse, they knew that there are only 5 sets available. 5 more sets have to be manufactured. Now what happens? Now they to manufacture a product, they have to procure raw materials. The materials inventory will now go and buy materials required to create build a TV set. The manufacturing department starts building the TV set. Now what happens in all these processes? Each department in the company doesn't truly know what's the status of the order. No department knows what is happening. What is the status of the order? One department cannot get into touch with the other department. It takes time. They can't simply sit and log in. Sales department can't log in and check what is happening in warehouse. No, because each department is working individually or independently. So what is happening? Because of the lack of communication, each department is working on their own rules. Now what? 5 days have come. After the 5th day, the customer comes back to the sales department asking for the delivery of its 10 TV sets. But unfortunately, 5 TV sets, there are only 5 TV sets available. 5 TV sets are still in the manufacturing plant. Okay. Now the customer is very unsatisfied because the promise has been broken. Right? Now the sales department starts begging the customer, sir, please take the 5 TV sets. Please come back after 5 days to take the delivery of the remaining 5. The customer is very unhappy. First impression is always the best impressions, right? So now the customer very reluctantly goes back, comes back again after 5 days, takes the remaining delivery of the remaining TV sets. So will the customer come back again? No, because he was unsatisfied with the first time delivery. So what happens? Orders or sales decreases in that company. The customer spreads to other customers also, please do not go to that company because they delay the orders. So what happens? Slowly, because each department did not have each department had a communication gap between them, slowly the sales dropped, the company incurs losses. So in a non-ERP system, there is no planning of these resources. That is what I meant. In non-ERP system, there is no planning happening between various resources of an enterprise, because of which they are incurring losses. So that's when they brought ERP into the market. Now what does ERP do? ERP changed the look and feel of an organization. What happened? There are again various departments in the organization, but now they are integrated. That means all departments of the company were integrated into a single software system. Okay? And they shared the same database. Okay, now that is your ERP. So now what happens? Let's take the same scenario. The customer comes, places order for 10 TV sets. Now the sales can immediately log into the warehouse. He doesn't have to wait. He immediately logs in. He sees only 5 sets are available. Now he can tell the customer, so there are only 5 available. Please come after 10 days to take the delivery of all the 10 sets. Okay. Now what? When one department finishes the order, it automatically is routed via the ERP system to the next department. So to find the status of the order, each department simply have to log into the ERP system and check the status. Now that is very easy now. Now each department starts working, starts communicating with each other because they are integrated under one single system, which is your ERP system. So what happens? Orders increase, customers are satisfied, the company starts making profit. So that's the reason they have planned the resources of an enterprise. Okay? That means what did they plan? They integrated all the departments into one system which is sharing one single database. Okay? So that work is now done, the customer is satisfied and they are not incurring losses but gaining profit. Clear? This is the concept of why ERP was introduced. Now, coming to SAP, one of the ERP in the market is SAP. Now, what is SAP stands for? SAP is an ERP. SAP stands for Systems, Application and Products in Data Processing. It was founded in 1972 by a German company named SAP AG. So now suppose you are venturing into SAP. You can take up any one of the three roles in SAP. You can either be a technical consultant, a functional consultant or an end user. Now let's see what each stands for. Now let's start with a functional consultant. Let's take a functional consultant. What does he do? He is mainly used or he works on understanding the business. He is mainly working on understanding the business processes of a company or an organization. Okay? Now, there are various different modules available. He can understand. He can work with HR modules. He can work with finance. He can work with controlling, materials, sales, planning and production. Okay? He can work in plant maintenance. Okay, these are the various departments. These are the various businesses that a company follows. A functional consultant's main aim is he should understand the business processes of a company. Programmatically, he is not doing much. Okay? He doesn't require a programmer. He doesn't require much of any programming language. Okay? He just understands the business processes. He knows the company or the client will tell him what they need. They keep their requirements in front of him. He understands the business processes and he knows, he studies what should be done. Okay? So that their goals can be achieved. Now coming to a technical consultant, what does he do? He is purely program based. Okay? Program based, all your networking concepts all come under technical. You can either be SAP ABAP, Basis, okay, business intelligence, all come under your technical consultants. You work in any one of these modules. It is more program based. What are end users? What are end users? Okay, they are the people who actually work with they are the people who work in the organization. They are the people who actually use the SAP system or the production system. Okay? They work with real-time data. They create, if the functional consultant does do some business processes, they work with the actual business processes. They see whether what they have asked for is achieved or not. Okay? They create invoices. Okay? They create sales orders. They work with the SAP system. They tweak around the SAP system. They gather what else is missing. They tell, okay, this is missing. They convey to the functional consultant. Okay, the functional consultant now takes up the requirements. Now he'll ask the ABAPers to do it. Now in layman, what does the functional consultant do? He tells what to do. Okay, he tells what to do. What does the technical consultant does? He does what is told to be done. Okay, this is layman definition. Functional consultants will understand, sit with the company, sit with the end user, understands or gathers the requirement that is needed. He tells the technical consultant, okay, they need a report. Please take so and so fields from the database, create a report. This they tell the technical consultant to do. ABAP takes that requirements, he does programming, okay, he puts all his programming knowledge and creates a report. This is the various roles that you find in SAP. You can either be any one of this. Okay, now you have ERP. You have understood what are the ERPs in market, and one of the important ERP is your SAP. Now you also understood what are the roles in SAP. Okay, now fine, everything is fine. I have various departments which are integrated. They share the same database. Now, how do I work with SAP? There should be some tool or there should be some language that I work with SAP. Now, that is your ABAP. ABAP stands for Advanced Business Application and Programming Language. Now, ABAP is a programming language used to work with SAP. Will ABAP be useful for other ERPs? No. It was only developed to work with SAP. Okay, it was only developed to work with SAP. You can finally say that it is the programming language of SAP. Okay. Now, not only ABAP, any programming language you take, if you are planning to learn any programming language, you directly don't jump into details. You first start with your basics. So, to be perfect in ABAP, you should first perfect its basic elements. Now, what are the basic elements? They are your data types, operators, control statements. Okay? Any programming language, you should be perfect in these three: your data types, operators, and control statements. You begin learning a programming language with these basic elements. Now, coming to what are data types. In ABAP, you either have a character data type or a numeric data type. So, what do you mean by data type? Okay, now I'm just giving you an overview of what will be dealt in the sessions. Okay, all this will be dealt detailedly when you are starting your sessions. Okay, when you start your classes. Now it is just an overview. Okay, now what is a data type? Now suppose, for example, I am planning to write a program to add two numbers. Okay, just imagine I am writing a program to add two numbers. So what are the requirements? I need two numbers, N1 and N2, two variables which has values in them. Okay, I have to store two values in them so that I can add those values. Now what type of values do I store? I store two numbers or two integers. So how do I declare it? I tell N1 type 5. That means I am telling N1 is a variable that can store an integer type. Okay, it is holding an integer type. So what does data type tell you? Data type tells you what type of data is the variable holding. Now, it can be either a character data type or a numeric data type. Now, in character data type, you have C for stand for character, N for numeric test, D for date, T for time. Then you have a string data type. Under numeric, you'll have integers, decimal, okay, and your floating point numbers. We will deal with each data type while doing your program. Okay. Now, once the data types are dealt with, we will go to what are your operators. Now, what are these operators? Okay. ABAP has 4 different operators. Arithmetic, like you can see, you will have plus, minus, multiplication, division. Logical is and or not. What does all logical operators help us? In what way? They help us to take some decision. If A and B, I want both of them. If A or B, I want only one of them. If A not B, if A is not like B. Okay, to project some differences between variables. Okay, now coming to relational, it is again showing some relation between two variables. If now I write if A is greater than B, do something else, do something else. Okay, I am showing, now in this case I am projecting relationship between two variables. Either they can be greater than or less than, they can be less than or equal to. Okay. There are various relational operators. Now ABAP has a extra operator that is funny, that is your assignment operator. Now you might ask, there is an is equal to here and an is equal to here. How are they different? Okay. Now what does it do? Now based on a context, that equal to can take different forms. Now suppose, let me show you an example. If I am writing, if A is equal to B, what does it mean? I am telling, I am comparing whether A is equal to B. Now this becomes a relational operator. Okay. Now if I am telling A is equal to B, means what? I am assigning the value of B to A. Now is equal to becomes an assignment operator. So based on your context, that is equal to can either be a relational operator or an assignment operator. Hope you are clear with that. Not get confused when you see an is equal to. Based on your programming context, you can either relate it to a relational operator or a assignment operator. Okay. Now, with this we deal with the operators. Okay. We will, while programming, will come across all these operators. We will extensively use them in our programming. Okay. Now, once your operators and all are done, let's move to control statements. In control statements, what you will be doing? There are two types of control statements. One is your decision control or your loop control. Like the name itself, what is decision? It will help us to take some decision. Like what? If I am telling if A is equal to B, right, they are equal. Else, right, they are not equal. What I am trying to do here, I am making a decision here. Okay. So, decision statements like if and if, case and case help us to take some decision. Likewise, loop statements. Now, what is loop? Why is it different from decision? Decision is only used to take some decision, but loop is what? If you want to execute a piece of code again and again, that is, you are executing the same piece of code again and again, you put it under loop. Now suppose you are writing do 5 times. I am writing my name. Okay, and do. What I am doing? 5 times I am printing out my name. What happens is this statement is executed 5 times. I am executing the same statement again and again in a loop. So this is your control statement. Okay. We will extensively deal with each statement while doing your programming. I will give you examples of how each control statements work. Okay. Now, these are your basic elements. What are they? Your control statements, your operators, and basic data types. These are your basic elements. Now, if you're, while doing programming, we will mix all this and do our programming. Now, once this is done, we move on to the next concept, that is your DDIC, or it is called your data dictionary. Now, in SAP, or you have, suppose you are taking a company, it has various departments. So where do you all store this data? You have to store this data in tables. So SAP has, suppose, this is your, just let me tell you how to navigate. This is your login pad, okay? They will provide you with the login pad. These are the different servers available. You just click on login. They will give you the username and the password as your credentials so that you can enter your SAP system. So now, once you are going into that, this is where you enter your transaction code. This is a space where you enter transaction code. Transaction code is nothing but, in short, it is called as T code. It will help you open up different applications in your program. Now suppose I want to open up data dictionary. What is the transaction for data dictionary? It is SC11. Okay? See, database tables. So what I want to say is, data dictionary we will deal with tables. We will deal with tables. Now suppose I want to see my material data. There is a table called MARA. Standard table. It is a standard table already provided by SAP. Now what does MARA have? Just see what it is. It is a material master. Can you see? Material number. This is the various data stored with respect to your material or your logistic departments or your material department. Okay. Likewise, you have tables for hundreds of tables for every department. So data dictionary is this screen is where you find your tables. Now these are all standard tables available. In our course we will learn how to create these tables. Okay. What do you mean by tables? In data is stored in the form of rows and columns. Yes or no? Data is stored in the forms of rows and columns. Suppose there is a requirement to create a custom table. So many tables are there, that is not enough. A customer comes up with some data which is not present in all the tables. So what? You have to create your custom table. So in data dictionary we will deal with how to create such type of tables. Okay? This is dealt in your data dictionary. To create tables, then how to enter data into it. Okay, you have to enter entries also, no? That it should store data also. Okay, you'll create fields in the table. Now this madness should hold values. How they are holding? Let me show you. See, this is the data available. These are the different materials present in the system. Likewise, I also create custom tables, then add data to it. All these scenarios are done when you are dealing with your data dictionary. Okay. Once that is done, we'll come to internal tables. So the internal table is a concept in SAP ABAP. You can also call it as heart of ABAP. Why? Because you need to be perfect in internal tables. This is the one concept which is used everywhere whenever you are dealing with ABAP. Okay. What is internal table? Let me just give you an overview. What is internal table? It is a variable, or you can rather say it's a dynamic variable used to store multiple records. Okay. Now you might ask, then what is the use of this table? Even that is used to, are we not storing multiple records? Obviously we are storing more than one record. See how many records are being stored. Almost 250 records are there. Then why are we using internal tables when you have dictionary tables? The difference is, dictionary tables are static. If you log off today, come and log in, you will still have your MARA table there. But internal tables are used in your programs. Okay? They are used in your programs to fetch data from your database and store into this internal table. So they are only present when you are working with the programs. Once you close the programs, it is gone. Okay? So they are called as dynamic variables. So now in internal tables, you will learn how to add records to it, how to read. Once you add, you can read them. Then you can modify those records. Then you can delete few records if you want. All this are done under your programming. That means the T code for ABAP editor where you write your program is SC38. See, this is your ABAP editor. Okay, just write some program. Just display. This is how you write a program. Please do not see this program and get tensed. These are simpler programs. You will learn it when you are doing one session after the other. Okay. So now this is where you write your program. So internal tables. So this is an internal table. This is how you do. You fetch the data. I am fetching the data from a material table and putting it into my internal table. Okay, I think you understood the concept. Data dictionary tables are present in the database. Internal tables are present in your program. So once this program I close it, this is gone. You don't find IT underscore Mara in SC11. No. You only find standard tables. Okay? That is your difference. Now, I have my tables here. I have some things to store. Now, what? How do I fetch? How do I give some information to some people? How do I fetch data? The data present in your data dictionary is raw. You just simply don't go and open a Mara table and tell the customer, okay, this is your material. No, he doesn't want like that. He wants a report. He wants a sales order report. He wants a purchase order report. So what happens? You have to write statements to fetch data from the database. Okay? That is where your OpenSQL comes into picture. OpenSQL, suppose if you are from a SQL background, you will understand there is something called as a select keyword, select statements. Okay? These are used to fetch data from your database. See, similarly, you can see here. See, select statement. What I am fetching? I am fetching these fields from the Mara table, that is your material, into a internal table. Now what I will do, I will display them like this. Okay, I will use the records in this and try to display those results. So this is your select statement and this is your OpenSQL. This whole thing is your OpenSQL. You use select statements to fetch data so that you can convert that raw data present in your database and provide some information. Okay? I will use some. Now I want to list what I am trying to do here. I am listing out the materials present in the company. That is an information I am providing it to the client. So what I will take data from the material table and show it to the customer as a report. Okay? So internal tables and OpenSQL are very important. In ABAP, you come across in every object. You cannot ignore them. You have to understand them very perfectly to further build on your logics. Okay? Now, once open. So now I have given you an overview of various elements, basic elements. Like your basic elements, then you have to learn something about data dictionary, try to create few tables, okay? Then you have to start creating internal tables to store some data. Then you learn about OpenSQL, which helps you to fetch data, right? Now, till OpenSQL, I can say that you have learned ABAP as a programming language. Till OpenSQL, if you are finishing OpenSQL, okay, in the course, you can say that I know ABAP. But is it enough to project yourself as an SAP ABAP consultant in the market? No. Knowing this is not enough. To project yourself as a consultant, ABAP consultant, as an ABAP consultant in the market, with this knowledge, you should know to create RISEs. Okay? Please observe. With all those knowledge which you have incurred in OpenSQL, you have to learn to create RISEs objects. Now RISEs, as you can see, R stands for reports, I stands for interfaces, C for conversions, E for enhancement, F for forms. Now if you are saying you are an ABAP consultant, you must have worked in any one of these objects or in all or any two. Okay? I have done till OpenSQL, I know till OpenSQL, I know basic elements, I know data dictionary. No, that is not enough. You have to be good in your RISE objects. Use all the knowledge you have incurred here into this, creating these objects. Okay? Now let me give you an overview of, just give you an overview, not into detail. Let me just tell you what each are. Now coming to reports. Let me show you. Okay? What are reports actually? What does it do? You provide a report. What it is? What is a report in a company? What is a report? The client is asking, I want a sales order report. What do you mean by sales order report? What is actually happening? You're fetching the data from the database and you're showing the results in a list, or you're displaying the results in a list or in a form of report. Let me show you a report. Let's see. Okay, these are all already done reports. We will learn how to create them from the scratch. Just to give you a glance of what reports are. Okay, see now, these are your selection. This is where you select what type of input you want. This is where you give your input. Now see, can you see when I'm clicking this radio button, something is coming up, something is becoming invisible, something again is appearing, something is disappearing. So what is happening? I have written something in this code that is making these things to work like this. So what are they? They are your events. Okay. In ABAP you have 10 events. You learn one by one. Okay. Now what are these events? Events are block of statements executed in response to an action. Now what is my action? I am clicking my radio button. When I am clicking my radio button, I have written something here to make it invisible. So can you see? Something like this. This is a block of statements that is executed when response to an action. Okay. Now let me show you a report. Let me take a report. Let me give a sales order number. Let me execute. See, this is your report. Can you see? Doesn't it look like a report for you? Okay. We'll add many things. Now I want for each sales order, these are the different sales orders that the company has created. Now let me see in each sales order what are the different items. Okay, these are the different items. So these are the different ways you work with your report. You create events. Okay, there are 10 events. We will deal with it separately, each one detailedly. Okay, this is how you create. Now I hope you understood what a report looks like. We will be creating this. Okay, I am fetching data from the database and displaying the information. All this data is there in a database. Okay, I am pulling that with what? Using SQL statements. That is your select statement. Okay, I am storing it, all these records I am storing it in internal table in your program and displaying them. That is the connection actually. Okay, fetching the data and displaying it. So this is another form of report. Now there is another form of report which is your ALV, which is your ABAP list viewer. See, now you are seeing this is looking little awkward. Don't you think so? The report, there is no font, there is no clear format. So what they have introduced something called as ALV. ALV stands for ABAP list viewer. What? It is same like the reports, only thing they have enhanced the readability and functionality of a report. So now for example, let's take a ALV report. Let me show you a ALV report. So let me execute. I am listing out the materials. Okay. Can you see? It is more readable. It is looking good in the form of few tables. Now the report is little readable than our previous reports. The previous reports are called your classical reports. Okay. Now this is called your ALV. It has many functionality. What are they? You can copy it to an Excel sheet, download to an Excel sheet. You can download to your desktop. Okay. You can create a bar charts or a pie charts with this data. You can sort the data. You can hide few contents. Okay. This is more readable. That's the reason they have introduced ALV. Okay. When coming to ALV, we will learn how to create such type of reports. Okay. This is what you cover in your reports. Now coming to I, that is your interfaces. Now what are interfaces? Okay. Interfaces are, what do you mean by interfaces? They are data transfer programs. That means what? You can transfer data from SAP to SAP systems or SAP to non-SAP systems. Okay? You can either send it out from your system or you can get in. Okay? You can get in. That means it can either be inbound programs or outbound programs. Inbound is what? You are getting data into SAP. You are storing data into SAP. Outbound is you are giving it to some other system. Suppose you are passing it to Java. You want to display something. Okay, from SAP you want to push it to some Java system. Okay, or a SAB system. Okay, so what you are fetching data, take the data from the database and writing outbound programs to send them out from SAP. So for that you use BAPIs. So we deal with BAPIs while dealing with interfaces. BAPI stands for Business APIs. Okay, they are your business APIs. BAPI T code is SC37. You do not have to create BAPIs. There are many standard BAPIs present in SAP. Suppose, let me take an example of material save data. Like the name suggests, this is a inbound. Means what? If I want to get data into SAP. Now in this case, I'm storing material data into SAP. I'm getting it from some non-SAP system, storing it into SAP. Now suppose I want to give someone details of what materials are there in your database. Then I can use this BAPI. Get the details of the materials present in your database. Okay? We take different modules have different BAPIs. There are many hundreds of BAPIs in SAP. Okay, we use them and try to do programs. Okay, we either get them or store data into the SAP. This is the concept of BAPI. We will learn how to use these BAPIs in your programs. Okay, now this is your interface part. Now coming to next object, that is your conversion. Now what are conversions? Conversions are your data migration programs. That means they are your inbound programs. Means what? You can only get data into SAP. Using conversions program like BAPI, you cannot send data out of SAP. From SAP to some other system is not possible. Conversions are only inbound. When you are first implementing your SAP system, when you are implementing, now you are suppose you are running a non-ERP system. Your company wants to move to a ERP. It is implementing SAP. So what you have to get all your data from your non-SAP system into SAP. That is where we write your conversion programs. That's the reason they are also called as if you are loading data into SAP, you use data migration programs. So these are the different programs available. BDC stands for Batch Data Communication. Under that, you have these two methods. These are pure programming techniques. Okay, we use them. We try to create them so that you can get data. You will store data in the form of file. You will upload the file into SAP. Okay, internally you will upload that into your database. That is the concept actually happening. They are your data migration programs. We deal with BDC, call transaction, session methods and LSNW when we are dealing with conversions. Okay. Now coming to the next one, that is your enhancements. Okay. Don't get worried saying this figure. Okay. What are enhancements actually? Enhancements are used to enhance your standard applications. For example, just for an example, suppose these are the different menu buttons or push buttons available. Now suppose I want to add a push button here. Can I do it? Yes, you can do it. What you are doing? You are enhancing the standard SAP system. I am trying to put a custom button into it. That is meant by enhancement. Can you just simply blindly go and put a button? Can you just write some code somewhere and it will create a button? No. Let me explain you how it is done. Okay. Just imagine your standard program to be this freeway. Okay, I know I am not good at drawings, but just imagine this to be your freeway. Okay, your standard program is a freeway. SAP has provided exits in the freeway so that you can just come out. You can't blindly come out from here. You have to come out only through the exits. Yes. So SAP has provided you with exits in standard programs where you can add your custom code. Now here I can write a code to keep a push button on my menu bar. I can't write my code here. No, it is not. There is no exit available here. Similarly, this is your standard program. Why is it a standard program? Just imagine this to be a standard program. Because it is starting with the letter M. One more important concept is all custom programs start with V or Y. Okay? If you are creating a program, you can only create using Z or Y. You can't create with other letters. All the other letters are reserved by SAP. So that's the reason this is a standard program, because it's starting with M. Now try to, this is display. I can't do anything here. I'm trying to do something. No. Let's try to change it. This is how you change. Change it. See, is it asking for an access key? Now let's go to some other program. Let me go to a custom program. Let me show you that report. It's starting with Z. Okay. This is also in display mode. This is also in display mode. But when I try to change it, it's asking for access key. Let me see it here. Try to change it. See? It is helping you out to change. Why? Because it's a custom program starting with Z. But you can't do this here. So what you should go and action cancel. You have to take the access key from SAP to make some changes to the standard program. So this is your freeway. You can simply go and change. So SAP has given some exits. Can you see this gap? When you get the access key and try to change it, this will become, and you can write your custom code here. So these are your exits. This is your user exit. Like that, SAP has provided you with various exits. We will deal separately one by one. So now in the enhancement concept, the tedious part is finding the exit. Writing a custom code here to print, to show you a push button will be easier. But where do I write? If I write here, is it enough? Or if I write here, is it enough? Or if I write here, will it display? I can't blindly write. So that is the tedious part. Finding the exit. Finding the correct place to come out. If you are staying somewhere here and you come out from here, it's impossible. You have to come out here only if you are staying somewhere here. So finding the correct exit is the tedious part. Writing the custom code is easier. Okay. Once you reach enhancements, you will be very good at programming. Okay. So writing that code will be easier. But finding the exit. So what we will deal with enhancement is finding ways to find the different exits in a standard program. There are different methods available. We will deal with it detailedly. Okay. I hope you understood enhancements. Enhancements are used to enhance your standard applications with your custom code. You are changing your standard applications to incorporate your custom code. Okay. Now once enhancements are done, what is the last one in RISEF? The next one is your forms. What are forms? Forms are your business documents. Every company can have a sales order, a purchase order, a invoice, a billing document, anything. Yes or no? You have a sales order in your SAP. But what is the customer wants a hard copy. Now how do you do it? Now let's for example go to a billing. Let's see a billing transaction. The T code is VF03. Okay, I have a billing number. Enter. See, this is the payer's number, okay? And this is your billing date, this is your net value, this is what he purchased. Item is 10, he purchased something, this is its receipt. Now this is there in the system. So what if the person wants a hard copy? Okay. Now let's see. Can you see? Can you relate this to some invoice which you have seen? Or suppose if you are going to a market or a food store, you find bills, no? They give you bills at the billing counter. Same thing. How do you create something like this? Using this data is present in your SAP. We create a hard copy. Using what? These. Either SAP scripts or your smartphones. Okay? These are the methods available to create such business documents. Okay? We will deal how to create them. This data is available, all this data. See, can you see? Pen memory, we have seen that in your transaction now. You fill that data and show it. Okay? Now you can create logos here. Okay? I will teach you how to create logos. Company logos. You can place company logos here. How to import those logos. Okay? These are the ways you create business documents using scripts and smartphones. So, this is your rights of objects. I hope you just got an overview. This is just an overview of what you will be dealing. So, once you learn all this ABAP basics, you have to work with RISEF. This is where you understand business processes. You don't have to go into detail because business processes will be given to you by functional consultants. They are there to provide you. Okay, if you feel like I have to display a sales order report, you don't have to tweak in and find out what are the fees, which table they are. This all information will be provided by the functional consultant. Your job is to create a program so that when you execute it, you get a nice, beautiful report displaying the sales order. Okay, I hope you are clear with what SAP ABAP consultant's role is. Okay, he works on RISEF objects. With the knowledge in ABAP as a programming language, he should work on RISEF objects. Okay, he can either work on all the RISEF objects or he can only work in reports or interfaces or enhancements. It's up to his organization. Okay. Now, once we are done with this, I'll also tell you the concept of OOPS. Okay. Nowadays, OOPS is mostly preferred along with ABAP. Let's learn how to create classes, objects, what are the real-time entities that we work with, inheritance. So there are various concepts in OOPS. We will deal with it separately. Okay. Then later on, we come back. Last topic would be your cross-application. Okay, like the name suggests, suppose you are in a distributed environment. You have one system here, the other system there. You create data here and create a report somewhere else. So what happens? You want to send data from one system to the other. Okay, so what you have to do, sender configurations. Okay, you have to do receiver configurations. All this will be dealt in your cross-applications. Now, how do you link? That is your application link enabling, that is your ALE. How do you send data? Using iDocs. Okay. These are the various concepts we will be dealing with. Configurations in the sender system to send the data. Okay. You bridge the sender and the receiver system using RFCs. Okay. Then when you send, you have to receive. Someone has to receive it. Okay. So you have to do receiver configurations to receive that data. All this will be dealt under your cross applications. Okay. I hope this would be your last topic in the session. So I hope I have given you an overview of what SAP ABAP is, what you will be dealing with as an ABAP consultant. Okay. What all are required for you to project yourself as an ABAP consultant. This is just an overview. Detailedly, we will go one by one, starting from your basic elements to cross application. All will be dealt detailedly with real-time examples using real-time data. We will use data present in your database. Take standard tables and use them. Okay? The sessions would be maximum 35 to 40 sessions, 1 hour daily. Okay? I will be giving you few exercises after each topic. Without the solution, I want you to try out how to get the solution. Okay? Try solving the errors that you get. If you have any doubts during the sessions, you can ask me. Okay? You can record all your sessions daily. Later you can play them and go through the sessions. Okay? I hope I have succeeded in giving you a overview of what all we will be dealing in our sessions to come. So, hope to meet you all in my future sessions. Thank you.